Hey guys, so for those who don't know me, I am Devin Ford, the man of the controversy and all the other crap going on. I wanted to actually videotape a response because there's just a little too much to talk about in a blog post or an Instagram post. Plus, not really great the whole social media thing anyway. So, but wow, so a lot going on here. First, I think it's important to get the right perspective on the whole situation, and nobody really understands the whole story. And because of that, I think there's a lot of like just false ideas out there, and it's kind of crazy. So, I want to cut through all that crap and just say what happened and give the facts. So this all started with the review process. So I did all 5 weeks of the Open, and then for those of you who don't know, that there's basically like a sixth week of the Open, so to speak, where they give you, they announce what workouts they want at some point in the week post Open, and then you usually have like 4 or 5 days, similar to the time you would have to do one of the workouts. To give the videos that they want. You can redo them if you wish, and whatnot. So on Friday, I believe it was either Thursday or Friday following the Open, they released a video or an email rather, asking for workouts 1 and 3. Those workouts were to be submitted by Tuesday, so the following Tuesday. So you have from that Friday to the following Tuesday. They say in the email, like they do pretty much every year, it doesn't have to be the videos from the Open. You could redo them if you wish. You just have to make sure you get those 2 workouts in by Tuesday for the review process. During the Open, they were also asking for videos if you were above the blue line in any given week. So anyway, I was posting the videos. I was above the blue line the last few weeks, so I was posting some videos. And then Friday, I got that email. They asked for 1 and 3. But separate from that email, and this is kind of what people don't know, and this kind of is a huge part to play in all this. I got an email on Friday separate from the automated email. This was from one of the actual CrossFit Games employees that was in the review process. So one of the review technicians, so to speak. Seemed to me that they have a small team. This was one of the guys personally reaching out to my email. And he was asking me for, long story short, he was asking me for workouts 1 through 5. And not only was he asking for every single workout, but he was asking for every single workout and by the end of that day. So this was Friday at like 4 or 5 p.m. Well, I got it at 4 or 5 p.m. I'm in New York, Eastern time. So essentially I had 6 hours to upload and submit 5 workouts where everybody else had 2 workouts to upload, and they had until Tuesday. I didn't even see this email until like 1 a.m. Until I got done with all my emails for the day. I get 60 or 70 emails a day with my nutrition coaching. So I saw it basically at the end of the night and panicked. I didn't know what the hell to do. I didn't know I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on. I saw the other email that they asked for 1 and 3, and I saw his email that he wanted every single one. And by that day, it was already past that day. It was past midnight. So part of me already thought I was disqualified. I already thought that it was gone. Like, I started CrossFit back in 2008. I did the first regional in 2009. And since then, I've competed at all the regionals except for 2 years, I believe it was. 2 years, and then this year because there isn't a regional. But I've been doing regionals a long time. I've been competing a long time, and I already kind of decided this is going to be my last year because it's just taken so much from me and whatnot. So I was devastated. Like to think that I was already disqualified. I was angry. I was confused. Didn't make sense. I was, and I emailed them back immediately right then and there. I was like, this doesn't make sense. I was like, I don't even have one of the videos. I can get the rest. I'm like, I have a few uploaded, whatnot. So I panicked to kind of upload the ones I did have. There was one workout I didn't even have a video for because I deleted it at some point. So I spent the whole weekend redoing that. And in any case, I emailed them back, that night when I first got the email. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. This is confusing. Everybody else has to submit 2 workouts by Tuesday. I have to submit 5 in 6 hours. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's not fair. Like, I didn't even see this email until after the day. Does that mean I'm already disqualified? Like, I had so many questions. I was so confused. But in either case, they didn't get back to me until Monday night. So I spent the whole weekend trying to do the one workout that I didn't have a video for. I had a fucked up issue with my pecs. So I couldn't even really give it a good effort. But I submitted everything I had. And on late Monday night, they got back to me, and because they didn't work the weekend, they got back to me and they basically said it was a glitch. They said that the whole reason they were asking for the videos had to do with my email address. Believe it or not, it was because the email address that they had on file was my personal email address. The email address that I was emailing them from was my business email address. It was actually the same exact inbox. It's just that if somebody emails my personal email address, it's set in my Gmail, my settings to automatically reply with the business email address. So anything that they were getting to me, whether they were asking for videos during the open or otherwise, it was through Devin at Performance Fuel, right? So it was a different email address, and because of that, something got messed up. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm thinking either they thought somebody else was trying to email my videos, which was weird, or they didn't get any of the videos I was submitting to them during the open because it was under a different email address. So maybe it showed up like they got 0 videos from me. Not really sure, but I was relieved. I was partially relieved because I still had a shot. Like, I was still kind of in it because I thought I was already out, and that was devastating to me. It was unfair. I didn't understand. But they still wanted the videos, so I still had to give them all the videos, which was fine. But I was relieved to know that I was still in the game, so to speak. Needless to say, I didn't even look at my first and third workouts. I was so focused on the one workout I didn't even have a video for. At that point, I just submitted everything that I had. Ironically, the third workout was actually, or handstand push-ups in particular, is actually one of my best movements. So anyway, then I got an email a little while later that they reviewed the third workout, and I missed 10 reps. I only did 40 of the 50 handstand push-ups. I literally read this as I was driving and had to pull over immediately. So I was like, there's no way I made that dumb of a mistake. Like, there's no fucking way. I'm like, this dude must have watched way too many handstand push-ups. Maybe he was seeing things. Maybe something was going on. Yeah, I don't know. There's no way I did that, right? So I literally pulled over on the side of the road. I looked at my YouTube. I looked at the video. I was like, oh my God. Like, I actually only did 40. So I immediately emailed him my other attempt. I'm like, I don't even know if this is going to matter, but this was my first attempt. It was 20 seconds slower. I did all the reps. And they got the video. They're like, yeah, that's fine, but we can't use it because, it's past the date. I was like, fuck. So they were still going to give me a major penalty for it. I felt like a complete asshole. The fact that, starting from 2008 till now, 11 years, almost 12 years of me trying to get this goal could literally come down to the fact that I didn't do handstand push-ups was just mind-blowing to me. So fucking stupid. But anyway, long story short, they still assessed a major penalty to my score. He told me this way before, well, maybe not way before, but a few days before the leaderboard was updated. And I kind of did some of the math myself, and it looked like I may be tied for last. But I was like, you know what? I don't know what that even means. I don't know if that means I got kicked out because I was like the last person to tie with last. I don't know if somebody declines their invitation. Do I get kicked out? I had no idea, what to expect or what to do. I was still on edge. But there was nothing else I could do in that situation. It was just a kind of a wild roller coaster of up and downs. And then a day or two later, I wake up and I get like notifications on Instagram, like the shit ton of notifications, and all these people were commenting on my posts, and I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. And like maybe I don't know, like maybe somebody saw one of my posts and liked it, or I don't know. I had no idea what to think. I thought it was a good thing at first, and then I read the comments and I was like, oh shit, this is not good. And it was just full of uh, people thinking that either I cheat, or people saying that my quality of reps sucked, which could be a valid argument, or that I purposely cheated by reducing 10 of the reps of the handstand push-ups, and I'm not really sure how that makes any sense. If I was going to cheat, I wouldn't just not do reps and hope that they don't look at it. I mean, that doesn't make sense. And also, if I was going to skip reps, it would be the damn box step up over. So I want to claw my fucking eyes out during those. Um, so yeah, I mean, handstand push-ups, it was a dumb mistake, but in no way was I trying to cheat those reps, or not do 10 of those reps and hope they didn't see it. That's just kind of crazy to me. But in any case, it was overwhelming to say the least. I was very confused. I mean, I didn't know where it was coming from. And then I saw the post on the game site. I was like, okay, that's probably where it's coming from. Also didn't understand why everybody was harping on me when there was, 9 other athletes that had major penalties, or I don't know if they all had major penalties, but a lot of them did have major penalties. And a lot of the females were completely kicked out of the top, whatever, like sent to 100th and something place. I was, I sustained a major penalty and still had a shot. And I think maybe that's what people were angry about, that it didn't like get completely thrown out because of it. I'm not really sure. Um, Needless to say, listen, I understand that everybody would be pissed off about this. I understand that it may, from the outside, look that I was just completely cheating and just trying to not do reps. Again, that really doesn't make sense to me. I think that's a really, honestly, fucking dumb thing to think. But I was dumb in the fact of not doing the 10 handstand push-ups. So who knows? And then there's, then because so many eyes were on it, then they were dissecting everything and saying my box step ups didn't count, which I don't know, may be valid. I'm not arguing one way or the other. I just sent all my videos in for review. The games hit me with a major penalty. So, I don't know what to say about any of that. I mean, it's not even in my hands it's not like I can give myself a penalty or anything. So, I think it's kind of odd. I think people had a bunch of feelings in one way or the other about the open, about the changes, and about things in general, like with years past and certain people with reps, and they kind of just linked all of that to me this year, which is fair. I mean, if I'm all for the changes that people were saying, where you have to submit, every video from now on. I did that this year, so that's fine. I think that's completely fair. Honestly, I think the most fair is in-person competitions. But of course, if the games wants to do the open and keep the open, and it is a huge asset to the community, then I think they do a pretty damn good job, honestly, of regulating it, considering there's 300,000 plus people, and for the most part they do penalize people if they don't do it right. They do ask for more videos. That sort of numerous comments asking like, did he get other videos? Like I had all of my videos submitted before they even looked at this workout, and they looked at all of them. So I think they did pretty good job. But that's the story. There's a couple other things that spawned from this. One was my Diane video, Jesus Christ, of me doing Diane in the gym. So just a quick backdrop on this. The class WOD of the day, workout of the day, was Diane. And Diane was always a pretty good workout for me because I can deadlift pretty close to 600, and handstand push-ups are pretty good movement for me. Jesus, but any case, but yeah. So Diane's a pretty good workout for me. So my buddy of mine, there was some guy in the class who did pretty good. My buddy of mine was like, "Well, I bet you can't beat him by a few minutes because you did pretty good. Diane's a pretty low workout anyway, and if you're getting like 3 minutes in a workout, you can't really beat it by minutes, right? So it was a locker room bet. It was kind of a tongue in cheek kind of thing. Um, I was like, well, I bet I can, and then then I go ahead and did it like as fast as I could. I mean, I tried to bounce the fucking bar as much as I possibly could. I wasn't doing it for legitimate reasons. I wasn't doing it to post that I did Diane, and yeah, I just did it. I literally walked away from the workout. I'm like, well, not one of those reps counted, but I got 90 seconds as a joke. Like it was a joke. It was a tongue in cheek kind of locker room bet. The only reason I even uploaded it to YouTube was because I wanted to show the guy who was in the class and a buddy of mine because I thought it was pretty funny. Which, by the way, not only did I put in the title of the video that the form was bad, I also labeled it a comedy. Like I literally tagged the comedy option for the fucking video. Like I wasn't taking this seriously. So that whole thing is just ridiculous. Like Jesus. I mean, I have people looking back at videos from like 5 years ago, and my toe didn't extend when I did a burpee, and I was a cheater. That's ridiculous. The other thing too to mention is some people said, well, how come you basically sucked at all the competition, in-person competitions you did, but you always ranked pretty well in the online competitions. And you can ask any of my coaches. I've had numerous of them that worked with me one-on-one. And for me, honestly, it's still kind of tough to talk about, but I really didn't do well in-person competitions for a long time. That was a huge demon for me to battle. I worked with so many sports psychologists. I worked with therapists. I worked with numerous different coaches. I tried to get a handle on it. I was never used to working out in crowds or competing in that way, so it was different to me. I was very used to working out alone with everything that I did. So I just had a very tough time with that. I have, I'm sure everybody has seen it by now, but I have YouTube videos of me doing regional workouts. Literally the week before, the week after, or 2 weeks after the actual regional, and smashing it and doing really good. And I had, not only was the reps pretty good, I think. I mean, everybody else is probably going to annihilate them, but I think they were pretty good. But I also had it marked off, like the transitions, because like the dumbbell ring dip workout from a few years ago, you had to run. I forgot what it was now, but it was like 10 feet increments or something. You had to place the dumbbell and run back and then go further each time. And I literally marked all of that off because I was doing it for myself. I wasn't doing it to prove to anybody. I was trying to figure out what was happening at competition. So I wanted to have the two videos back to back and kind of look at it. I even took heart rate metrics at regionals and compared it to in person, and a whole bunch of different things to try to figure it out. So yeah, I mean that's always been a battle for me. I'm not even claiming to be a great games athlete. Like I'm not good at running, swimming, or biking, but that's purely a product of me having to solely focus on what I was competing for, which was the Open mainly, and then regionals. But mainly, I would say like 90% of my work was tailored to the Open, with just some extra pieces for like CP, battery capacity, or just more advanced gymnastics elements here and there for regional prep. But so my main focus was competing for the Open. So anyway, so yeah, that I think explains that. I'm not sure why that really matters. I think people just try to, like, when something like this happens, people just try to create a narrative of like, oh, this guy's a career cheater. He's the most well-known cheater in CrossFit. Like that's I don't know. I've been to regionals many times, and I've never had one video ever have one rep taken off ever in the 8 years that I've gone to regionals. I'm not sure they asked for videos for all of those, but like the first year you just signed up. But whatever. In any case, in all the competitions I ever did, I would have minor adjustments here and there for different competitions, but I've been asked for more videos a few times. I've always supplied them. And for the CrossFit Games, for the CrossFit Regionals, rather, I guess at that point, I've never had one rep taken away from a workout. This year, just with the review process and being asked for all 5 videos within 6 hours, it threw me for a loop. I didn't have one of the workouts, so I stressed to redo it. I was fucked up anyway. My pec, I thought I pulled my pec on my shoulder. I don't even know what the fuck it was. And turns out I didn't, but so I was trying to redo it and it wasn't looking good. And all my focus was on that. I wasn't even looking or thinking about workouts 1 and 3. And I just fucked up. I was a dumbass for missing 10 reps. But that's that's a nutshell. That's my take. That's my side. I will say one last thing. I think it's pretty shitty that people can't even think for themselves. I think the CrossFit community. And again, I started this back in 2008. And the CrossFit community was different, man. The CrossFit community, it was strong. It was united. CrossFit was one. Freddie's gym back in the day, CrossFit One World. That's how everybody looked at CrossFit. Before Reebok, before it got public, it was law enforcement, firefighters, and people who were just wanted something different and loved it. And CrossFit got a lot of shit back in the day. Of course, I mean, look at these guys doing like the worm on a pull-up bar, right? And so anytime, CrossFit was united. Anytime somebody came after CrossFit, everybody kind of stood together. It was like, no, there's more to this than it looks like. It is very functional. It's helping law enforcement. It's helping firefighters. It's helping people get fit. People will stand up for that. And if people in the CrossFit world itself were kind of slandered or whatnot, then CrossFit would hear it out, and they would kind of stand up for it and try to help one of their own, and to say that that's fucking gone is an understatement. I think it's ludicrous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people see one line of a games post and then look at one video and assume the whole thing, assume that I cheated everything, assume that I missed the 10 reps on purpose, assume that they didn't have any other video to look at, assume that all these different elements, and then just pick at things like finding, bypassing 600 videos I have on YouTube and finding the one shitty Diane video and posting that. Like, really? Like, this is, so listen, if the CrossFit Games wants to, I think they did great in this process, and I don't know how they take the shit that they do. Kudos to them. But if the CrossFit Games wants to take back my invite or knock me out, that's fine. I'm not trying to take somebody else's spot. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to do any of those things. I'm just trying to fight for what I've been fighting for the last 10 years or over 10 years. If they want to take that back, I completely understand. I've already decided in my head, I know what I'm going to do if I do get that invite. And that's my story. Hopefully it helps and sheds some light, but I know, most people, judging by the comments, aren't even going to listen to this, and they're going to say my head looks stupid or my fucking hair looks stupid or those nice lights in the back or some shit. I don't know. I'll open the comments so you guys can just, I'll pause so you guys can all get your hate out. So have fun with that. And then, that's it, man. So I fucked up, and that's my story. So if you did listen this far, thank you, and I appreciate that. And hopefully this helps people understand.